You got this.
All right, so the title of tonight's message is Building the Stone Wall of Christ. And there's multiple verses from the book of Nehemiah. Also, we're going to be looking at Proverbs 27:17. And I'm going to start with Nehemiah. In the Old Testament, Nehemiah had the task of building a stone wall. But he didn't build it on his own. He had people, everybody built what was in front of their house. So they got this wall built in record time to protect the city of Jerusalem. As in Proverbs 27:17, it says, "Man sharpens man, such as iron sharpens iron." I take that as we need to reach the lost people in our area. If each man sharpens one person, then we're going to get done what's in our area and help with the area next to ours to help build the stone wall. So my first point is, are you afraid of failure when trying to lead people to Christ? People were having doubts in Nehemiah building a stone wall. In chapter 2, verse 20 of Nehemiah, it says, "The God of heaven gives us success." So I think that we need to go in to leading people to Christ, to building our stone wall in our area. And don't look at it as, well, I can fail. The God of heaven gives us success. Though you may fail once or twice, you may lay that brick and it fall over. Next time you do it, though, you're going to have success. He's going to give you the success. Let's see. It also says, "We, his servants, will start rebuilding. But as for you, we have no share in Jerusalem or historic right to you." What I take from that is, we're his servants, we have to start building his kingdom. So if you do what's in front of you, what's in your area, what's in Adamsville, Hardin County, Savannah, Pickwick, we do what's in our area. Let's not open it up into big areas like that. If we just do a small area, like one hallway at school, you see people you share Christ with, one or two in those hallways. Well, in those two, like it says in Proverbs 27:17, man sharpens man. So you take one person, you sharpen another person, then that person sharpens another one. So that's two. Start out with one, you add another one, that's two. That's three. So now you have three areas built to the stone wall. So my second point is, are you afraid of getting laughed at, getting made fun of from the people that you're sharing with? The people that built the stone wall got made fun of from the people of Judah. It says in chapter 4, verse 4 and 5, you find that. It says, "Hear us, O God, for we are despised. Turn their insults back on them, their own heads. Give them over as plunder in a land of captivity. Do not cover up their guilt or blot out their sins from your sight. For have them thrown insults in the face of the builders." So we are the builders when we're out there sharing the word. We're the builders of the stone wall. So you shouldn't worry about what people say. Because like it says right here, turn their insults back on their own heads. So one day they're going to regret that. You get insulted, it's going to be thrown right back at them later on. It may not be right then, but it will be thrown back on them. It also says, "Do not cover up their guilt or blot out their sins from your sight." He'll never forget that they insulted you when you were trying to share his word with them. "For they have thrown insults in the face of the builders." Again, the face of the builders. We're the builders. So it's throwing it back in the face of us. God will always remember that. So when others think you're going to quit, like they did right here, they pray to God. So when others think you're going to quit because of the wall builder, the wall builders never quit like the Judas thought they would. It says in chapter 4, verse 10, "Meanwhile, the people in Judah said, 'The strength of the laborers is giving out. There is so much rubble that we cannot rebuild the wall.'" So you think there's so much bad in this world, and the people think there's so much bad, so much rubble, that you can't rebuild this wall. They think your strength's giving out. Your strength will not give out. Sometimes you may get down yourself, but you just got to think. You just got to pray, like they did right here. And they overcome that strength. Got the wall built in a record time of 52 days. So we always got to have our strength up, and there's never too much rubble out there. They had a lot of rubble when building the wall. We have a lot of bad now. It's the same thing. You have to overcome that and rebuild the wall. People said they couldn't. Well, they got it done in 52 days. They never would have finished the wall if they would have gave up and quit. So we can't give up and quit on basically building the wall of Christ. You can't go out there and you can't give up because somebody insults you, because their insults will be thrown back in their face. You can't go out there because people are getting you down and not help rebuild the wall. Though there's a lot of rubble, it doesn't matter because you can overcome that. So what can happen if we all do our parts? If everyone in Nehemiah did their part and the wall was built in a record of 52 days. So going back to Proverbs 27:17, if we all choose one person, you look out in your school, you see one person to choose. So sharpen them. I don't know if you've ever seen a blacksmith sharpen a sword. A blacksmith doesn't have 150 swords laid out there and works. He doesn't work on all of them at once. He has one, he sticks it in the fire, melts it, sharpens it, does everything for that one sword to get it ready for battle. Then he starts on his next sword, and he may be training a young blacksmith. So that young blacksmith, they're not going to try to do 150 swords at once. Him and that young blacksmith are going to sharpen one sword. He sharpens the young blacksmith on how to sharpen the sword. Then you have two blacksmiths making double swords. So I take that as, I have a person, I go to sharpen that person gets sharpened, he goes out there and sharpens more people. So you don't have to look at it as I have to take over the school, I have to do this. You have to go through, you got to find one person. You find one lost person, you help lead them to Christ, then they're on your side. They're battling for you, they're building your wall. Help them build the wall of Christ. Then there's two regions of the wall built. They had different priests from different regions building their wall. They built in front of their regions in front of their house. So if we build the regions in front of our house, you pick somebody on your street to help. You pick somebody in your hallway at school, somebody in your class, maybe your locker mate, classmate, teammate, anything. You help them sharpen. You sharpen them so they can sharpen others. And then you got both of us on the wall. And everything's going to be stronger with more people, more weight. You look at a football line, you take a football offensive line, you have three people. It's not going to be as sharp as if you add two more. You have a line that's halfway there, they're half in, half out, they're a lukewarm, then it's not going to be as good as you have 5 offensive linemen that are on fire. If you have 5 people that are on fire for Christ, all start at we'll say the center, like in football, spreads out. So you're the center, you're spreading out to the other 2 people that's next to you. Well, then your wall is built bigger, it's built stronger. Then after some time, there are a whole lot of people built onto that wall. I look at it as you have a team, you have your sidelines. You started out with 3 or 4 people. Now you have 80 people on your sidelines. I know from playing football, from watching basketball, if you look at a team that's got 100 players, you're going to be way more afraid than a team that's got 20. So as we sharpen more and more people are going to be, enticed to listen to what you have to say. Whereas if you're just you don't talk to nobody, you're sitting there, you're going to be able to sharpen more people with the more people that you have to sharpen. Finally, tying the two together. If we try to build the stone wall of Christ one by one, we'll be more successful than if we try to build it by bulks. That's why Nehemiah did not take the task to build the stone wall all at one time. He did not take the task to, hey, I'm going to build it, I got to get this done. No, he divvied out to each region to build their wall in front of them. So you don't try to take over your whole school, lead your whole school to Christ. Just 1 or 2 people, again, just 1 or 2. And then that leads to more. So they finished the wall of Christ. So if we all will work together, we can build this stone wall of Christ, and we're all building in front of ours. I'm not doing more than Cole is. Cole's not doing more than Paul. Paul's not doing more than Logan. We're all working together doing the equal amount, building what's in front of us. So, if the stone wall in Nehemiah, and the stone wall we're building today is basically a stone wall that we have to build. They're almost the same. Our stone wall is imaginary. Obviously, not going to build a big brick wall of Christ in front of us. We're going to build what we have to build. So, just again, if we all work together, we'll be able to build the stone wall. That's all I got for the night. Short, but